That's not gonna work. Man, I have no idea what I'm gonna do for this project.
Oh, hey. Alex and I are gonna go play Xbox. You wanna join?
Nah, man, I need to work on my English project. I'm fresh out of ideas and it's due on Sunday.
What's the project?
I have to make a public argument. We've stuck with the same topic the whole semester, and I've been researching the downsides of plastic. He wants us to use a format other than writing a standard academic essay for this last one, and he'll accept anything from YouTube videos to poster ads. He's even gotten songbooks in the past.
Wait, downsides of plastics? Is this like that one movie you wanted me to watch? The documentary where the guy goes around to different countries and talks to people about attempts at recycling?
Oh, you mean Addicted to Plastic? Yeah, that's basically my topic. I used it as one of my sources. I liked how he presented a lot of his stuff, so I kinda wanted to do a video as well. Problem is, I have no idea how to go about doing it.
Well, you can't fit in as much information in a video as you can in an essay. So what points are you making? What are you going to emphasize?
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I know I'm gonna include the stuff on how recycling doesn't work, because it's good to start with something that's a misconception, especially when it's something people don't really think about like that.
Wait, what? How is recycling a misconception?
It's not recycling that's the misconception. It's the idea that recycling solves the problem.
Doesn't it, though? I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but I'm pretty sure it contributes to decreasing pollution somewhat.
See, but that's my point. Not all plastics are recyclable, and only about 40% of the plastic that makes it to the facility is actually recycled. Even then, recycled plastic is rarely used to make most of the original products that are being recycled.
Wow. Why is it so inefficient?
A lot of it has to do with the different types of plastic. When you recycle glass or aluminum, the chemical content is pretty much standard. But there are several different types of polymers used to make plastic, and a lot of the time, manufacturers will use mixtures of different types to give the product its desired properties. These mixtures are really hard to separate, so it effectively creates a wide variety of different compositions of a material.
Hold on. You said earlier that they rarely make new products out of recycled plastic from the same product. What do they use recycled plastic for?
Well, usually they make products with less of a dependence on the quality of materials, like packaging for plants or sometimes grocery bags. There's a part in Addicted to Plastic where he meets with this guy from Texas who founded a company called Tytech, and they make railroad ties out of recycled plastic. His biggest appeal is that he accepts all types of plastic and melts them down so nothing gets thrown to waste.
That's awesome! But are railroad ties usually made out of wood?
Traditionally, yes. But plastic doesn't corrode like wood does, so his recycled product is actually better than the original one.
That guy's gotta make a killing.
Oh yeah, he does. But it doesn't alleviate the problem. Companies like Mattel still make the new Barbie dolls out of new plastic instead of recycled, so the influx isn't decreasing at all. They call this downcycling because the recycling only happens in one direction.
Wait, what do you mean by direction?
What I mean is that you can take old Barbie dolls and recycle them into railroad ties, and you can take the old railroad ties and make new ones, but you can't make new Barbie dolls out of the old railroad ties. So it's a closed loop, but there's only one way in and no way out.
Alright, recycling seems like a good topic to include. What's some other stuff you want to cover?
Well, I also want to stress the health problems.
What health problems? You don't eat plastic, you use it to make stuff.
Actually, you do. Well, at least some of us have. If you've ever taken a pill that was a capsule and not a tablet, then you've ingested plastic.
Okay, but that's pretty negligible.
Well, it is, but it's not really the plastic that's the problem. It's what's in the plastic. There are these chemicals called plasticizers, and they make plastic as useful as it is. They're used in manufacturing, but they stay in the end product to retain its properties.
So how is that a problem?
It's a problem because they can be health risks. Two common plasticizers are the element antimony and a chemical called DEHP, which is the most widely used plasticizer. One of the studies I found showed that polycarbonate plastic bottles seeped high levels of antimony when they were exposed to microwaves, put in boiling water, or left in a hot car for too long. Fortunately, they didn't find high amounts in any other type of plastic, for antimony or any of the other metallic elements that they tested for.
Okay, so it's in the water. And
antimony and its compounds have a similar effect on the body as arsenic. DEHP has been shown to alter the regulation of genes when exposed to cell cultures. If these go unchecked, they could have profound effects on our bodies.
Alright, so there's the health risks. Man, you seem to have an awful lot of downsides. Do you have any solutions? Because otherwise, you're just complaining about the topic.
Well, yes. One solution is bioplastics, but they're still developing. One of the other problems with plastics is that they aren't biodegradable. This means that almost all plastic that's ever been made is still around today. Bioplastics solve this problem. They're biodegradable alternatives to plastics. Some bioplastics break down more easily than others, depending on their chemistry. Some of them are even soluble in water, which would be great for applications like plant containers or pill capsules. Another benefit is that a lot of them are non-toxic, so while you won't get much nutritional value out of eating them, they're not as risky as traditional plastics.
That sounds like a pretty complete solution. What do you mean that it's still developing?
Well, it hasn't quite got a hold of the public yet. Only a handful of manufacturers are employing bioplastics, although one of the big names is Sony. This is most likely due to the small number of people actually making the materials. And while they are biodegradable, some of them don't break down as fast as one would hope, and others need to be composted in specially designed facilities with heat and humidity control.
Huh. Well, bioplastics sound pretty promising. But what about the other plastics that already exist? I don't see how bios would solve that.
Actually, Addicted to Plastic touches on that. He talks to a couple scientists in Europe, and it's a really complicated process, but basically, one group found out how to convert plastic products into this solution of petrol-related chemicals, and another group found this one strain of bacteria that can feed off of that solution, and it produces a film that's a bioplastic as a waste product. What's up?
You know, you just spent the last several minutes explaining these things to me. Why don't you just do something like this for your project?
Wait, what?
Why don't you just make a video of this guy telling his friend about the project that he has to do, and then he spends the rest of the video explaining what you just told me?
So you want me to replicate what just happened on camera?
Basically.
That's definitely doable, but I would need another person. You want to help?
Well, yeah. I mean, I gave you the idea. I might as well contribute.
Great, thanks. I have a good feeling about this.
So, are you coming?
You go on ahead. I'll catch up. I have a script to write.